Welcome to the Full Moon Film Buff, episode 128. We're going to talk about DarkWolf from 2003. I rented this from Scarecrow Video, and I had not seen this before. As always, we start with the prominent crew and cast. You can also find links to a more complete credit list in the show notes. The film was directed by Richard Friedman, written by Jeffrey Allen Holliday and Chuck Scholl. The special effects were by John Carl Buechler. Richard Friedman began his career in the 80s. He's most recognized for directing horror and thriller films, including Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge from 1989, and Christmas Crime Story from 2016. He has also done television, directing episodes for series such as Silk Stockings and Baywatch Nights. We first discussed John Carl Buechler when we covered Project Metal Beast from 1995. The cast includes Samira Armstrong as Josie, Ryan Alosio as Turley, Andrea Bogart as Stacy, Jamie Bergman as McGowan, Alexis Cruz as Miguel, Aaron Van Wagner as Tom, Sasha Craig as Anna, billed as Sasha Williams, Kane Hodder as Biker Guy, Bo Clark as Wayne, Tippi Hedren as Mary, Rick McCallum as the DarkWolf, and Marilyn Miller as the She-Wolf. Marie Armstrong started with guest roles on TV, gaining prominence through her roles as Anna Stern on The OC and Emily on Entourage. Her career expanded with Dirty Sexy Money and The Mentalist. Beyond acting, she's worked as a fashion designer. In recent years, she has remained active in television with appearances in shows like Resurrection and Sons of Anarchy. Ryan Alosio began acting in the 90s. He has appeared in soap operas like General Hospital, The Young and the Restless, and Days of Our Lives. Alosio is known in the gaming community for his voice work as Deacon in Fallout 4, among others. He continues to work both on-screen and voice acting roles. Andrea Bogart began her career in the early 2000s, guesting on TV shows. She gained recognition for her recurring role as Abby Haver on the soap opera General Hospital from 2010 to 2011. Beyond acting, Bogart has worked as a dance and fitness instructor. Jamie Bergman began as a model, gaining prominence as Playboy's Playmate of the Month for January 1999. She has also appeared in Playboy videos. She played B.J. Cummings in a parody of Baywatch entitled Son of the Beach from 2000 to 2002. She's married actor David Boreanaz in 2001. Alexis Cruz is best known for his role as Skara in both the 1994 film Stargate and its television series spin-off Stargate SG-1. Cruz began acting as a child, appearing in shows like Sesame Street and The Cosby Show. Beyond Stargate, Cruz has appeared in numerous television series, including Touched by an Angel, American Family, and Shark. He has also done voice work for video games and worked in films throughout his career. Aaron Van Wagner only has 4 acting credits, but one of those is 120 episodes of Days of Our Lives. Sasha Craig got her start as the Yellow Ranger on Power Rangers, all and associated specials. We also discussed Kane Hodder when we covered Project Metal Beast. Bo Clark had a roughly decade-long career in shorts and directed DVD movies. Natalie Tippi Hedren began as a fashion model in the 50s, appearing in advertisements and magazine covers. Her life changed dramatically when director Alfred Hitchcock discovered her and cast her as Melanie Daniels in the 1963 thriller The Birds. Her performance earned critical acclaim and established her as a leading lady. Next, Hitchcock cast Hedren in Marnie in 1964. Her relationship with Hitchcock became notoriously strained, later detailed in her 2016 memoir Tippi. Hedren continued acting, though none of her roles reached the prominence of her Hitchcock collaborations. Charles Chaplin cast her in a supporting role in his final film, A Countess from Hong Kong, in 1967, which flopped. Beyond acting, Hedren became passionate about wildlife conservation, particularly big cats. In 1983, she established the Roar Foundation and Shambhala Preserve in California, a sanctuary for exotic felines. The preserve grew from her experience filming Roar in 1981, a controversial film featuring untrained lions and tigers, leading to numerous on-set injuries. Hedren is also known as the mother of actress Melanie Griffith and grandmother of actress Dakota Johnson. She continued making occasional film and television appearances while focusing on advocacy work. She appeared in I Woke Up Early the Day I Died in 1998, finally bringing to the big screen the last screenplay written by the late Edward D.J. Wood Jr. We first saw Rick McCallum as an uncredited stuntman on Project Metal Beast. He has a lot more stunt credits than acting credits, including films like Naked Gun 33 and a Half, The Final Insult from 1994, Hatchet and Hatchet 2, and J. Edgar from 2011. This is Marilyn Miller's only film credit. I do not recommend this film. The overall production values, plotting, and special effects are poor even for the era. The film answers the unasked question, what do you get when you mix the magic of the first Terminator film with a werewolf and then strip out all the magic? It is notable mainly for being one of Kane Hodder's werewolf roles and being one of Tippi Hedren's later roles in her career. So let's go over the spoilers. Lots of topless women dance at a sleazy bar. A big leather-clad biker dude busts in, followed by 3 cops. He grabs one of the girls, his eyes glow red, and he passes out. The cops throw the leather daddy into a prison transport vehicle where he transforms into a werewolf, brutally murders 2 cops, and runs away into the night. One cop is not a normal cop, but a werewolf hunter cop named Turley. There is some weird stuff going on about pureblood and hybrid werewolves. The biker is a hybrid hunting down the pureblood matriarch. Josie, a young waitress saving up for medical school, feels that she has some mysterious calling. The best-dressed homeless woman I have ever seen keeps an eye on Josie. Her name is Mary, and she works with Turley. Mary relates that the biker is the DarkWolf, and Mary has been protecting the bloodline for 900 years. The DarkWolf is a super werewolf who wants to mate with the matriarch, breed a werewolf army, and conquer the world. It's going to take more than silver to kill him. It takes silver through the eye. Josie's friends meet up with her at the diner. The DarkWolf attacks the diner, kills another cop, and kills Mary. Turley takes Josie into protective custody at his apartment, while her friends head back to Wayne's warehouse loft for a sexy photo shoot. The DarkWolf shows up at the loft and kills 3 of the hipsters before the last 2 manage to hide in a freight elevator. Josie experiences her first partial transformation. Turley and Josie head over and rescue the last 2 friends who are hiding. Josie finally fully transforms. Turley has to expose her to the light of the full moon, or she'll be stuck as a werewolf forever. All 4 end up back at the police station. The DarkWolf stages a full frontal assault and kills a lot of cops. He ends up chasing Josie to the roof, where she shoots him in the eye with a silver bullet. The transformations here lean heavily on digital effects, which have not aged well. They look like bad 90s era video game graphics. On top of that, the design of the DarkWolf is inconsistent. When it's digital, it's a traditional bipedal approach, though with some modern updates like elongated limbs and a more bestial face. But when it's practical effects, it's a quadrupedal look with much more and thicker fur. We get an unfortunately long protracted view of the digital transformations, but no good looks at the practical makeup effects. So I don't know how good they actually look, but I expect the filmmakers would have shown us more if they had confidence in them. The exception to all of this is the pureblood matriarch look. The look aims far more for sexy than scary. She has long ankle-length hair on her head, and her face and arms have some hair as well. But mostly it's just body paint. It reminded me a little of Santo versus the She-Wolves and La Loba. Another problem with this film is that its interpretation of werewolf lore is both inconsistent and poorly explained. While it innovates by introducing concepts like werewolf bloodlines and genetic lycanthropy, elements that would later become genre staples, the rules governing these aspects remain murky. The distinction between purebloods and hybrids is never properly established. The film fails to clarify whether lycanthropy is purely hereditary or if infection is possible, leaving Josie's delayed transformation particularly puzzling. The origin of DarkWolf's enhanced abilities is similarly unexplained. Though the film retains silver as a werewolf weakness, it contradicts traditional mythology by allowing hybrids to transform at will instead of being moonbound. The connection between Josie's transformation and the full moon is especially confusing, as she needs moonlight to achieve full transformation, a reversal of standard werewolf mythology where the moon typically forces an unwilling change. I do want to talk for a second about the shift from a traditional Gothic setting to a contemporary cityscape, reflecting a changing relationship between the monstrous and the wild. DarkWolf's placement of its supernatural threat in a modern Los Angeles demonstrates how horror adapted to reflect the anxieties of an increasingly urbanized world. While classic werewolf narratives like The Wolfman relied on fog-shrouded moors and isolated villages to create tension, DarkWolf recognizes the urban jungle can be equally threatening and perhaps even more effective as a setting for exploring humanity's bestial nature. The use of LA as a setting follows a tradition established by films like American Werewolf in London, which similarly brought its creature into a modern city. However, where London contrasted the rural opening of that film, LA in DarkWolf is presented as inherently wild, a place where the line between civilization and savagery was always thin. This approach shares DNA with other urban horror films like Candyman, which used Chicago's Cabrini Green housing project to explore how cities can contain their own form of Gothic horror, or Wolfen, which turned New York City's decaying neighborhoods into hunting grounds for supernatural predators. The modern city setting allows DarkWolf to explore themes impossible in a traditional rural werewolf story. The anonymity of urban life, the press of humanity in crowded spaces, and the peculiar loneliness of being surrounded by millions of strangers all serve to heighten the tension. This urban version of the werewolf myth also speaks to contemporary environmental anxieties. While traditional werewolf stories often deal with nature as an external threat to be kept at bay, DarkWolf's setting suggests that we've built our cities over rather than apart from the wild. The beast doesn't emerge from the forest, but from within our constructed environment, suggesting that civilization itself may be the thinnest of veneers over our primal nature. This suggests that cities create rather than prevent monsters. Jack the Ripper is a creature of the city, and the werewolf can be too. So, if you like lycanthropes, like, share, and subscribe. Contribute your thoughts and additional observations in the comments below. Let me know what I missed or what you noticed. Next, I plan on discussing Underworld from 2003. Keep your eye on the moon, a silver bullet in the chamber, and we'll see you back here next episode.